Ever wondered what drives certain individuals to live a life of crime, risk, and notoriety? Welcome to the intriguing world of crime, a realm that exists in stark contrast to the everyday life of law-abiding citizens. This world is ruled by individuals who are often seen as charismatic yet ruthless figures, gangsters. Gangsters operate in a universe where power, wealth, and fear are currencies more valuable than gold. Their lives are often glamorized, yet they are marked by danger and uncertainty. Behind the allure of fast cars, flashy jewelry, and commanding respect lies a reality of constant surveillance, betrayal, and the ever-looming threat of capture. Their stories are captivating, not just for the audacity of their crimes, but for the complex webs they weave, the alliances they form, and the empires they build. From the streets of Chicago to the slums of Mumbai, their tales transcend borders and cultures. Let's delve into the lives of some of the most notorious gangsters that have ever lived. First on the list, Al Capone, a name synonymous with American organized crime during the Prohibition era. This larger-than-life figure didn't start as a kingpin. Born in Brooklyn, New York to Italian immigrants, Capone was a bright but tough kid who had a knack for bending rules. His journey to infamy began when he moved to Chicago in his early 20s. In the Windy City, Capone quickly climbed the ranks of Johnny Torrio's gang. When Torrio retired after a near-fatal attack, Capone took the reins, transforming the organization into what we now know as the Chicago Outfit. This wasn't just a gang, it was a well-oiled machine that controlled every illicit activity in the city. Gambling, prostitution, bootlegging, you name it, Capone had his hand in it. At the height of Prohibition, Capone's empire was flourishing, with illegal speakeasies and breweries operating under his protection. The outfit's iron grip on Chicago was so tight, even law enforcement and politicians were in Capone's pocket. But his reign wasn't without bloodshed. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre, a gruesome event where 7 members of a rival gang were gunned down in broad daylight, is often attributed to Capone, though he was never officially linked to the crime. While Capone's criminal empire seemed invincible, his downfall was surprisingly mundane: tax evasion. In a twist of irony, the federal government couldn't pin any violent crimes on Capone, but they could prove he hadn't paid taxes on his ill-gotten gains. In 1931, Capone was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison, effectively ending his reign over Chicago's underworld. Capone's reign, though short-lived, set a new precedent in the world of organized crime. His flamboyant lifestyle and ruthless tactics made him a media sensation and a symbol of the lawlessness of the Prohibition era. Despite his downfall, Capone's influence on the Chicago Outfit and organized crime in America is undeniable. His story serves as a stark reminder of the power, allure, and inevitable downfall that comes with a life of crime. Next, we travel south to the land of Colombia, where Pablo Escobar, the king of cocaine, ruled. In the mid-20th century, a young man named Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria began his climb to infamy. Born in a humble family, Escobar's ambition was as vast as the Andean landscapes of his homeland. Driven by a ruthless desire for power and wealth, he forged a path that would lead him to become one of the most feared and notorious criminals in history. Escobar's ascent began in the streets of Medellin, where he established an organized crime syndicate that would later be known as the Medellin Cartel. This was not just any criminal organization, it was a well-oiled machine, an empire that would dominate the global drug trade for over a decade. At the height of his power, Escobar controlled an estimated 80% of all cocaine that entered the United States. This was not a result of chance or luck, but of a carefully crafted strategy. Escobar's motto was plata o plomo, silver or lead, meaning that government officials and law enforcement had two choices: accept his bribes or face his bullets. Escobar's reign was not without resistance, though. The Colombian government, backed by international forces, waged a relentless war against him. This culminated in a dramatic rooftop shootout in 1993, ending the king of cocaine's life but not his legacy. His death did not bring an immediate end to the cocaine trade. On the contrary, it fragmented the market, leading to a surge in violence as smaller cartels fought for control. His story serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of the global drug trade. Escobar's life was a paradox of extremes. On one hand, he was a ruthless criminal, responsible for the deaths of thousands. On the other, he was a Robin Hood figure, using his immense wealth to build houses and provide for the poor in his community. Escobar's reign of terror left an indelible mark on Colombia and the world. His story continues to captivate and horrify, a chilling testament to the destructive power of ambition unchecked. Crossing the globe to India, we find Dawood Ibrahim, the underworld don of Mumbai. Born to a humble police constable in the bustling city of Mumbai, Ibrahim's story is one of ambition, power, and a relentless pursuit of dominance. In the early 70s, Ibrahim began his criminal career as a minor henchman in the notorious Haji Mastan gang. His ruthless nature and cunning mind quickly propelled him up the ranks, and by the late 70s he had established his own criminal organization, the D Company. The D Company, under Ibrahim's control, soon became a force to reckon with in Mumbai's underworld. Ibrahim's operations were not confined to Mumbai or even India. His network spanned continents, with a significant presence in the Middle East and Southeast Asia. The D Company evolved from a local gang to an international crime syndicate, involved in everything from drug trafficking and arms smuggling to counterfeiting and contract killings. However, it was the 1993 Bombay bombings that truly cemented Ibrahim's reputation as India's most wanted man. Orchestrating a series of 12 bomb explosions across Mumbai, Ibrahim brought the city to its knees, resulting in over 250 fatalities and causing extensive property damage. In the aftermath of the bombings, Ibrahim became a wanted fugitive, with both India and the United States declaring him a global terrorist. Despite extensive efforts by international law enforcement agencies to capture him, Ibrahim has managed to remain at large, believed to be living in Pakistan under the protection of local authorities. Ibrahim's story is a chilling reminder of the dark side of ambition and the lengths some will go to attain power. His rise from a small-time henchman to the ruling don of Mumbai's underworld is a testament to his strategic cunning and ruthless determination. And yet the story is far from over. As of today, the underworld don of Mumbai remains an elusive figure, both feared and reviled. His empire, the D Company, continues to operate, spreading its tentacles of crime across continents. Ibrahim's reign continues as he remains elusive to authorities. Back to the Americas, but this time in Mexico, Joaquin Guzman, or El Chapo, dominated the drug trade. This man, born into poverty, clawed his way up the ranks of the criminal underworld, eventually becoming the head of the Sinaloa cartel, one of the world's most powerful and ruthless drug trafficking organizations. El Chapo's rise to power is a tale of cunning and violence. He began his criminal career in the late 70s, smuggling drugs across the border into the United States. By the early 2000s, he was running a multi-billion-dollar empire, controlling vast territories, and flooding the streets of America with tons of cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine. But El Chapo's reign wasn't just marked by his business acumen. He was infamous for his brutal methods. Rivals were brutally killed, often in public, to send a clear message: cross El Chapo, and you'd pay with your life. Yet to many in Sinaloa, he was a Robin Hood-like figure, a local boy who made good and who wasn't afraid to share his wealth with the poor. His audacious prison escapes are the stuff of legend. Twice he managed to slip away from maximum security prisons, once hidden in a laundry cart, and another time through a mile-long tunnel dug from his cell to freedom. Each escape only enhanced his reputation, making him seem untouchable. Eventually, though, El Chapo's luck ran out. In January 2016, after a manhunt that lasted several months, he was captured and extradited to the United States. He's currently serving a life sentence in a high-security prison in Colorado, a world away from the dusty streets of Sinaloa. El Chapo's reign showcased the intensity of Mexico's drug war. His story is a stark reminder of the power and ruthlessness of the cartels and the devastating impact they've had on Mexico and beyond. It's also a testament to the relentless efforts of law enforcement to bring these criminals to justice. Despite the allure of power and wealth, in the end, crime doesn't pay. These notorious figures, while fascinating, serve as a stark reminder of the danger and devastation that comes with a life of crime. From the ruthless reign of the Chicago outfit, where power was consolidated through bloodshed and betrayal, to the intoxicating heights and crushing lows of the king of cocaine's empire, a life of crime is no fairy tale. The underworld don of Mumbai, a figure shrouded in mystery, reigned with an iron fist, but even he couldn't escape the long arm of the law. El Chapo, a name synonymous with fear and power, led a life of unimaginable wealth, but it was a life punctuated by violence, danger, and ultimately imprisonment. Each of these individuals, larger than life, faced the consequences of their actions: the loss of freedom, the constant threat to their lives, the devastation of their families. While their stories may enthrall us, they ultimately serve as cautionary tales of the perils of a life in the underworld.